Well, I think this could be a good new format for running the videos. At the beginning, I tell you a plan for what I hope to get done based on the post-it notes, and then I get to it. So here we are after a fortnight of work with Christmas in there as well. So that definitely took some days out of work, which will play its hand in the work done, as you'll hear. But let's talk about the 8 things that I was hoping to do in that time and see how we went. So there was good news, and there was some more good news, and then there was some other news. So let's take a look. So tackling things from the bow of the boat, working aft, I was hoping to get the 4 replacement panels for the V-berth, and that didn't happen. I need to make a couple of more battens to replace the ones that got a little bit damaged or were not exactly nice and flat for the panel to go against. So it does involve making 3 more little battens, and I just didn't have time to do that. Those panels, as you can see, are there. The exterior battens are all made, ready to be fitted to the panels. Until I get those 3 little interior battens made up, they can't be fitted yet. So that was and some other news. But moving right along, I'm pleased to say it was very much a success story. So as you can see, the saloon backtops and the dividers, oh man, they have come up so nice. They really do look a treat. Great finish, great fit, and so strong. That is a bit of work I'm actually quite proud of. Moving right along, the galley doors. Now, there's always surprises. So with those cabinet doors, if you watched earlier videos, as you'd remember, I had trouble getting those hinges. So I fit all the hinges and I fit all of those doors, and then discovered that when it came to opening that outboard port door, that hinge actually obstruct the door from opening. Wouldn't you believe it? That door actually only needs to open about 90 degrees. So what I've done is I've removed that hinge that allows it to open 180 degrees, fit butt hinges to that door, but in the process of getting that fitted, I've ended up with 4 holes in that front panel that I now have epoxied up, but they do require painting before I'm finished with those doors. So they didn't quite get done, but very close. On to number 4 and 5, both of which were in the heads, fiberglassing that pedestal for the toilet. So I got that done, as well as getting the remaining of that cabin sole flooring done when you step into the heads. So that has all been done in one to tie all of that fiberglassing in. And the other work that I was wanting to get done in the heads was fitting that galley top. So that's now done as well. And with fiberglassing that flooring in, I did want to put another layer over the shower hob just to get that looking better and stronger, because as you can imagine, that's going to cop a lot of traffic. On to number 6, which is the gas locker. So the work that needed to be done there was I needed to fiberglass tab all of the corners, the 4 on the bottom and the 4 vertical ones. And I'm pleased to say, not only did I get that done, but I think Roscoe from Life on the Hulls would also give me a pass on that. The next step with this gas locker is to cove all of those corners with this excellent wattle fairing compound. And as you can see, I've actually pre-sanded all of those corners. I did that when they were below just to make that job easier. And then after that, I'll put on fiberglass GRP taping, which of course will make that incredibly strong and also completely seal it. Over previous videos regarding making this locker, a few people have been concerned about drainage for this locker. I had mentioned that it will be having drainage, both a lower and an upper drain. Number 8, 7 was some trimming for the Lazarite bulkhead, which comes over here in the later blue post-it notes. And I don't know about you, but I think that looks pretty damn nice. And so the last thing, number 8, the engine box. Now, in addition to Christmas, that also explains why I didn't get to finish my objectives of 8 things. As I said, the V-berth lining panels didn't get in, but I went much further on that engine box than I thought I would. The intention was to get the box itself all made up, which I did. However, I kind of had the bit between my teeth and I kept going, and I've made up the steps for that. So because I just wanted to keep going with that, those steps did take up quite a lot of time, but I'm actually very pleased I just continued on. The ideas were flowing, things were coming together nicely. This is coming together really, really nice. It's nice and square. Putting those gussets in, of course, has really stiffened these up. Like, there's literally no movement whatsoever. I am very happy with that. So the remaining 3 things that need to happen before this can actually be put to use, the next one is that beam, which I'll be putting in place next. Then after that, the steps need to go in place. And finally, the hinges, where it'll be pivoting from. I must say, I think this is looking pretty good. I really am happy with it. It's got the right dimensions all around. It fits in so well with this whole companionway entry area. And of course, once those rosewood steps go on, that's going to take it to another level and of course blend in just sweetly with all the other rosewood. As you can see here, there'll be the initial step on top, which will be fixed to the cockpit itself and that bit of channel that I made up. So that will be self-supporting and very strong because it will also be having some uprights going down to the engine beds themselves. So the leading edge will be supported completely. So that will be going nowhere. And that's important because it's going to be off the leading edge of this initial step that this whole box is going to hinge. There'll be 3 steps, as you can see, placed evenly, all matching in the same bit of rosewood, and it's that different grain with the rosewood, kind of like that tiger grain that some woods have. And they'll be fitted by long coach bolts through the back with very large stainless steel washers so that those coach bolts are spreading the load behind the marine ply. And then once those steps are in place, I'm going to be having some probably 20mm diameter stainless steel tube meet that first step and be fixed to it, and then run at the same angle as the box. Where it meets the steps, they'll be fixed to the steps so that each of the outer edge is supported as well as the back edges. It will then change directions and be fitted to the top of the box. And an added consideration I had was that that tube also adds as a hand grab. So then the last steps are to fit the hinges. I'm not sure whether I'll have 2 or 3. That probably doesn't matter too much because they'll be heavy gauge hinges. And then once that's done, I can fit those gas struts. But right now, I've got this one last piece of rosewood as a beam, which I'm going to fit, if you can imagine, about this position on the inside. And that'll mean that 3 of the corners of this box will be very, very securely epoxied together. And this last lower bottom corner, these will be held in place by pins that will also lock the box in place, stop it from moving, and also be securing those last bottom pieces together. Well, as you just saw, I made up these paper patterns, and that's for the insulation to line that engine box. Now, I have 2.5 full pieces, which, to explain, I've actually got 4 more faces that I need to put sound insulation on. 3 are for the engine box, another is above the engine box, and that's just a little strip. So I've got 2 and nearly a half of full pieces, and I need 1 more. I've got quite a lot of offcuts and I just can't bring myself to throw these away to be landfill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these all nice and tight together, tape them with the aluminium tape, make up enough for that one last piece, which will be one side of the engine box. Obviously that front panel is the larger one, so I'll use a whole piece for that and the other full piece for one side, and then join up all these jigsaw puzzle pieces to make up that last piece for one side. Once again, my editing time has run out. I've got to get back to the good boat work. The next episode sees more beautiful finished work and the reward of removing post-it note jobs. Woo! And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell so you get the notifications. Check out my website. And as I always say, leave a comment because I like reading what you have to say.